pain because it would target your kidneys and liver. So I don't know, but I feel better today, but like
Glad you're all right. That's concerning.
Yeah, like all week long, dude. I couldn't even fucking like for 3 days. I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, that's concerning.
So we'll see. Like I said today, well, it's funny because last night I was watching football, so I watched the first game. I had like, and you know me and my Trulies, so I had 2 Trulies. I stopped because I got like a massive headache, and then by like I think 4 minutes before halftime in the San Fran game, I went to bed.
No, you missed a hell of a. We saw it last week. There was only one good playoff game. The others were all blowouts, and then there's a chance for that this week. We're at 1 for 2 so far. Blowout and one good one.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the highlights this morning, and it's funny because I thought the second game was going to go the way the first game went, which was first half close. San Francisco's just going to grind them out in the second half.
I'll tell you what, San Francisco got a fuck ton less intimidating, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
Anders Carlson doesn't miss that field goal. It's overtime, and who knows? But
they don't get a bad spot on that fourth. But like, I feel like San Fran had a couple missed chances too, so I'm like, okay, that kind of evens out. But that missed field goal was big.
Anders is so bad.
Yeah,
he went from Crosby, who's unreliable, to Anders, who's unreliable. Hi, Boogie. How you doing?
And Moody had the one blocked, but
yeah, we'll talk about that game in full depth tomorrow. I'm still processing everything I feel about it. I'm more like I said, at the end of the game, I was just aggravated Anders missed, and then that Jordan Love pick at the end to seal it. Like, it was 3rd and 2. You still could have lived a 4th down. You didn't need to make the cross-body throw on the run into triple coverage in the rain. I was like, bro!
That's the overeager youngster mistake.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what I mean? Man. Like,
I couldn't believe it. But anyway, we got 2 games today. This will be the end of Sunday for us guys until the next season starts, because the whole point of Sunday was to talk fantasy and update all the injuries and crap. Next week there will be literally the AFC title game and the NFC title game, and that's it.
I think with who's left, I mean, you're looking at banger title games no matter which way you slice it.
Yeah, I think Tampa, San Francisco provides the least excitement, because I think Tampa could get way too far behind too fast if San Francisco plays like we know they can. Now that all the rust is shaken off, the week bye and the 2 weeks because of the week 18 no playing. Like, if it's Tampa Bay versus San Francisco, I think San Francisco can blow the doors off.
Yeah. I can see that.
Detroit, San Francisco, I think we might be in an offensive showdown. I know San Francisco's defense is great, but, man, that offense of Detroit has too many pieces. Like Amon-Ra, Montgomery, Gibbs.
Yeah, and then their secondary gives San Francisco the ability to do whatever they want.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think Tampa Bay might actually be better than Detroit. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like in today's game.
I feel like Tampa Bay on defense overall is better than Detroit.
The last 8 games
offensively, Detroit is better on their best days.
Detroit.
In Detroit, Detroit's better. Which
Goff is terrible on the road, but in Detroit they've been great.
Don't let me forget the question they asked Todd Bowles at his
I posted about it on Facebook. I don't know how you get a media license in the NFL if you don't know Detroit plays in a dome.
I was dying, dude. I was like, are you fucking
He was so
kidding
patient
me?
too.
I know. He was just like, well, we don't really have to plan for that. You know?
If that was Belichick, he probably just would have walked out of the room right then and there.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I was like, really? They're gonna ask him that, like, of all people?
And we'll talk about it more tomorrow, but we've made it all the way to Sunday, and we found out the Cowboys are keeping Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy, and I guess Nick Sirianni kept his job.
Which is fucking hilarious to me, because everybody in the NFL is cheering now. Everybody's like, great. Thank you for being the worst division in football currently, because your best teams can't even beat the worst teams from other divisions. Like,
they're called the NFC least for a reason.
I saw a great picture yesterday. It was a bunch of the Philadelphia Eagles getting off their plane in Cancun. They are meeting for the divisional matchup against the Cowboys.
You sent me that. I started laughing. Because I found out Laurie, the owner, is in Cancun. Like he's on or in the Bahamas on vacation. I was like, I guess Sirianni kept his job then. Because he just left town. He was like, all right, vacation time.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me.
Boogie did say maybe he's just thinking about it while he's on vacation because he doesn't have to make the decision right away.
Yeah, listen, maybe he does his thinking like me. You get a few tequilas in you, and then you make the right decision.
So, I mean, that's a fair point, especially since it seems like everybody's taking their time with the hirings. I mean, obviously the Raiders yesterday finally locked up Antonio Pierce, but we all figured that deal was done.
Sense. That makes 100% sense. If they can't get Harbaugh, why do anything else?
Exactly. And then we heard Harbaugh is going to take a couple weeks. We've heard Belichick might probably going to the Falcons at this point.
That's crazy to me because they don't have a quarterback.
Boogie sent me a video about it was Travis and Jason were talking about it. And they were like, how do you interview Bill Belichick? Like, no one's sitting there going, what are your credentials? Like, what is your interview with Bill Belichick? Is what the
I guess the conversation would be like, you literally just ask him, well, how many years do you plan on being here and what's the plan?
Right? Because there's no other reason to ask him anything else.
I guess you would ask him, who are your coordinators going to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your
see Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia together again?
Don't get me wrong. If they can get a fucking quarterback, that defense was already good. And the weapons
you provide references, right? That's what Travis said. Travis is like, can we see your references?
Tomei's Pleasure Palace and get fucking Kraft on the phone.
Previous employer was another one. Jason said,
no. Hey, what's this gap here? It shows 15 hours you were signed to one team and then left.
I can't.
Can you imagine? He fucking jets the Falcons. He signs with them. And then just the same day quits and goes to a different team.
I mean, that would be a Nick Saban move.
That would be fucking if he did that twice in one career, hats off to the man. Give him the fucking tip,
So who's left? Tennessee, Seattle.
Yeah, where's Vrabel going?
Falcons, right?
Where's Vrabel going?
That's why this is the longest I feel like we've ever had to wait for coaching. I know it's because a lot of people want to talk to, get a second interview with the Lions offensive coordinator, and he's turned down second interviews until the season's over officially. So, a lot of teams are just sitting and waiting now.
Slowick's available now, obviously.
Yeah, which I know Seattle was apparently going to be giving a phone call according to Colin Coherd. So,
I feel like Seattle might be a good fit for Vrabel.
Honestly, that's where I want him. I think it's perfect for Mike Vrabel.
Obviously, the Chargers job is up, but most people think if Harbaugh's taking it, it's his for the taking.
I don't think people keep suggesting he's going back to Michigan. I still don't see it.
I heard that out of Rich Eisen too, and
he's a Michigan fan, so he's just.
But I just can't see him because he's going to be suspended for the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean it might even be 6-8 games,
and then he's still got the NCAA suspension coming.
Yep.
So, I guess it's a different conference, so maybe he's I don't know.
Now's the time, if you won your championship, now's the time to get out of the Big Ten.
I would think
it's about to get terrifying. I mean, they just came out with the most difficult schedules based on opponents for next year in college football. And 3 of those teams are in the Big Ten. Granted, I feel really bad because they're Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. So they're 3 of the not.
Oh yeah, because of who they have to play in their own conference.
Yeah, and well, they're all in the western part, which is getting Washington, Oregon, and USC. So I'm like, oh, cool. So you just gained all 3 of them in the Western Conference in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because the Eastern Conference in Big Ten already had Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State, so you can't load the other 3 in there.
Yeah, if you did that, you're just stacking one side, and it's best.
Yeah, because the other side right now. Yeah, because right now the other side is still Wisconsin and Iowa.
Can you imagine? Now the committee's gonna have to be like, okay, we got to pick a fucking
Big Ten champion out of this.
8-4 fucking Big Ten Western team because they got 6 fucking teams on that side.
It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for college football this year. The Big Ten just made things way more entertaining.
I think they're finally at the point where they're evolving, or they're kind of taking a page from the NFL and evolving a little bit and saying, look, this isn't fucking working. And the NFL added games. So I think with adding games now, it's a little easier because the guys are getting paid, right?
Yeah.
You can say, look, you're going to play this many games instead. They're going to be harder, but now you're getting paid real money.
Yeah.
And I think Harbaugh was onto something, and I think that's also why he's going to leave the NCAA, is because he's a mover and shaker. He upsets the balance of things. He said he wants players to have revenue share and shit like that. They don't want him there. They don't want him saying that shit.
Yeah. And did you hear about before we switch to the 2 predictions for today's games? Did you hear about Alabama's transfer issue?
I've heard this. I didn't hear the whole story, but I did hear a piece.
Well, so they signed DeBoer, and the number 1 recruit of last year, like overall recruit, who happened to be a quarterback who chose Alabama this weekend, has actually entered the transfer portal and said he does not want to play under DeBoer, so he's leaving.
Okay. That's going to happen.
The dude just helped Michael Penix become a star, but sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's probably signing his own death warrant, but okay.
Like, I don't know where you're going to go. I mean, I guess Michigan, but they got a 5-star quarterback in the transfer. I mean, in the recruitment class. So I don't know. That was a weird move to me, to just be like, all right, no more Nick Saban, so I got to go. I'm like, all right.
It doesn't make sense after you saw what Washington did offensively last year.
Exactly. I don't know, but good luck to him. I don't know where he's going to go. A lot of teams have already got their guy. Granted, if you're that high of a recruit, they'll take you over other people anyway.
It was also like the kid from USC who was the number 1 recruit out of high school, the number 1 quarterback recruit out of high school, and now he's transferring to BYU. It's like, okay, good luck to you, pal. Have fun.
I think it's because it's weird to me because like Caleb left. I mean, he declared.
But
so,
I think what happened was that other kid came in, threw those 6 touchdowns in a title game, and he was like, yep, right. I can't, I'm not going to play next year.
Yeah. And Lincoln Riley probably won't be there after this year, to be honest. I honestly think someone's going to give him a shot somewhere in the NFL after one more good season at USC.
I'm not sure I'd be ready to do that. Like, if I was an owner, I wouldn't take that chance yet.
I wouldn't either, but offensive coordinator, even if you just put him in an OC spot.
Maybe as an OC on with somebody, for sure I would do that. But you haven't seen any because of his movement. You haven't seen any development of linemen. You haven't seen any defensive upgrade to a team. So
none whatsoever.
And I don't know if you can say that what he's done with Caleb Williams is enough to just elevate him into a head coach position.
Yeah, I mean, how much
is it? How much is it Caleb's talent, and how much is it his coaching? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I just know that a lot of people think he's like the next Mike Leach.
Well, I think this is the problem with some of these teams is they get these fucking notions in their head that these guys are just going to elevate a team, and you're seeing it doesn't work that way. You've seen how many guys outside of Belichick's head don't work. And you've seen how many people from the Shanahan tree do work. And it's like, you have to really look into that with coaching. Good coaches elevate players, period. Right. So if they can elevate their own piece, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, linebacker coach, whatever they're doing, wherever their spot is, if they elevate those guys, great. It's the guys who elevate those guys and then all of a sudden are elevating pieces they probably shouldn't be. Yeah. An offensive coordinator becomes a head coach, and all of a sudden his offense is great, but then his defense becomes greater.
Yep.
Those type of guys. And you're seeing it with a lot of the guys out of the Shanahan tree, or at least picking the, what do you want to call it? The right pieces to be next to him.
Yeah. I mean, Like the perfect
D'Amico
example, like you
Ryans.
said with Shanahan, D'Amico
D'Amico
Ryans.
Ryans would be.
The offense exploded this year when they were a bad offense last year, and he's a defensive guy. He just makes both sides of the ball better having him as a coach.
I don't know if you saw against Dallas when D'Amico Ryans had one of his linebackers. He was talking to him, and they had a clip of it, and he said, "Hey, I want you on this play. When you see this look, I want you to sit there and just stare at him." He goes, "Don't move, just stare at the quarterback." And he goes, "As soon as he turns his eyes towards you, I want you to break inside and intercept that ball." And sure enough, that fucking play comes up and bang. I mean, it was fucking dead on. He called it,
it was
dead
Christian
on.
Harris too.
I was like, and that was the pick 6, right?
Yep.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He literally called it the play like exactly as it was going to happen. He told him exactly what to do, and the dude just ended up right in the right place, right time, pick off, 6 points. I'm like, that's a fucking coach. That's a coach. Like, no doubt in my mind, D'Amico Ryans will be just fine.
Yeah. All right. So we got developing, I guess, kind of news. I don't know. So earlier this week, because the one job that's vacant that I always forget about because no one should want to work it, the Carolina Panthers, I guess, realized that they're not getting anybody. So they have gone to the next level down, I would call it, of options. And they interviewed the Bengals offensive coordinator. And then they just finished up this Friday before, I guess, Tampa Bay left for their trip to Detroit. But they interviewed Tampa's offensive coordinator. So I guess they're just taking
guys that
no one else is calling.
They're taking calls on if somebody wants the job.
Yeah, because no one else is calling these guys that they're calling. So, I mean, they know they're not getting any of the big names because David Tepper has ruined the image of working for the Carolina Panthers. Plus, there's no pieces to work with. You're literally you're stuck. For
I mean, you could get a 5-year deal, and for 3 of them, you're not fucking doing anything.
Yeah.
Like you just aren't. Like it's. I hate to say it, but they are in fucking purgatory.
Yep. But so Panthers continue to work on their coach. I'm glad the Raiders, the Patriots have figured it out. Everybody else has got to get off their ass and get going, but we'll see who coaches fall. Coaches will fall if the Lions get eliminated. I think we'll start seeing coaches fall pretty quick because once Johnson signs, I think everybody's just kind of in a standstill waiting to see where he goes.
Yeah, I think kind of like he's the last remaining piece that might be available.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're not going to skip over Belichick just because what he can bring you if you get an offensive piece. Like, if you have a quarterback, Belichick can elevate a team everywhere else. He brings discipline. Yeah. He brings stability. He brings a foundation, and he fucking will make the defense elite no matter who's on it. Because we can talk about how good the Patriots defense is, but I can't tell you. Matt Judon didn't play. Christian Gonzalez didn't play. I can't tell you who played defense for the Patriots.
Hey, listen. The Patriots are one piece away. It might be an entire offense, but they're only one piece away.
And they're apparently about to lose some offensive linemen who have asked to leave. So I don't know.
All right, don't you bring rain on my parade, Matt. Okay, we're one piece away.
I know you were sick, so I know you went to bed early last night. So I assume you didn't get to see the UFC fights.
I didn't see any of the main card.
All right. Well, the piece of shit one. The
Plessy?
No. I wish. No. The actual piece of shit. The guy who wore a "Women in the Kitchen, Guns in Every Hand" T-shirt to his post-fight interview. And then he said a bunch of different things that I'm not going to say on the air. Oh, wait, Duplessis did win. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Duplessis won by
Sean Strickland.
decision.
Yeah, let's talk about Sean Strickland. But anyway, he lost.
Yeah, I mean, it was a split decision. I heard it was close.
Yeah, Duplessis had 6 takedowns to his 0. And when you only have a 30 strike discrepancy between you and you get taken down 6 times, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah, see, I get that, but I guess I'll have to go back and watch the whole fight because I love when guys take guys down, but just don't do anything with it. Because that's
It's terrible.
That's how I feel a lot of guys take advantage of it. And a lot of times I think those guys lose the fight, but just get the points because of the takedown.
It's like when Cormier beat Anderson Silva. He literally took him down and just laid on top of him because he had the 30-pound weight advantage. But he even said, I didn't want to stand up and strike because he could hit you out of nowhere. So he just kind of laid on him. And I was like, all right. But anyway, the rest of the card was good. I'm kind of shocked to see Raquel Pennington. I'm amazed she's looking good again. She kind of vanished for a few years, but she's starting to look real efficient. Let's see, Magny won, and Chris Curtis. I love Chris Curtis. I know it was a decision, but I think he's a monster. And then Evalev won. A bunch of decisions on the main card, but decent-ish fights. Could have been a little more excitement, but
yeah, it wasn't a very big card like when it came to names.
No, I mean, when you put a fight in Canada, they tend not to really give them many fights. I don't know why.
Listen, I want you to know, and I sent this to my buddy Chappie, that 2024 Canada got voted safest place for tourists to visit in 2024. And I wrote him a message with that article and said, see, this is what happens when you're too fucking nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, all right, so we got 2 games to pick, and then we're going to roll. First one today, Bucs, Detroit, outside in the elements, according to that one lady.
In the elements of Detroit. By the way, I did see a great video from last week because obviously they had like Eminem, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they had Eminem there, and the best part was that they had God, what's his name? The guy from D12 who was like, I was in the back. In a bunch of Eminem songs, that's all he says was I was in the back. And so he was actually standing like 3 rows behind Eminem the whole game. So it just was a video of him going, I was in the back.
No major injuries. Sorry, I was looking through the injury list real quick. Khalif Raymond, that might be the only real significant injury. Not really that significant. I don't remember who it was on the air this week, commented on the Bucs offense not being great and mentioned...
Oh, Bizarre. Bizarre was the guy's name. Sorry. I just...
mentioned how Russell Gage wasn't having a great... or was an element in their offense and all this crap, and was talking about that he thinks Detroit could handle them. I don't remember who it was. It was someone on NFL Network. And when they asked Baker about it, he goes, I don't know what he's talking about. He goes, Russell Gage has been on the IR the whole season. He's played 1 down. And I was like, right? Like this guy literally on the air, I can't remember who it was talking about the Bucs offense, even with Russell Gage, is still not very versatile. And they're not explosive. And I was like, bro, Russell Gage hasn't played. Like, and then they asked Baker about it, and Baker's like, he doesn't clearly know what watch our games. He has not watched enough film to talk about us. But that being said, this game is interesting.
I think it's interesting because I think it's closer than people think. I think this is the one
line in favor of Detroit, which I know it's only 1 score, but I think it's still closer than that.
Yeah, they can't play the defense that a lot of teams with bad secondaries play against Detroit, which is let Amon-Ra catch everything and then cover everyone else.
Well, Carlton Davis said their game plan this week is to do as much as you can to limit Amon-Ra, and the best way to do that is get to Goff as much as you can. Make him as uncomfortable as fast as you can.
Well, and Bowles loves blitzing. Like, let's not mince words here. I mean, his entire defense is we're coming after you.
And they're hard to run against because they have a Shaquille O'Neal-sized human being playing defensive tackle and Vita Vea. So,
and then their linebackers are pretty good. So they might be old, but they're still functional. They're not a San Francisco linebacking core.
For his age is crazy. I don't know how he does.
You ever notice that with like really good linebackers, they can just kind of play for a while, even though they dish out so much physical punishment.
Yeah, Demario Davis and Fred Warner are absolutely the kids.
Fred Warner's like he's an all-world talent. Like He's
I just
unbelievable.
don't get it.
And then the worst thing is that he's next to Drake Greenlaw.
Well, no.
Like it's like oh yeah, by the way, it's like it's also Baltimore, right? Baltimore's linebacking crew.
Roquan and Queen. Yeah. I meant Bobby Wagner. My brain slipped. I meant Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks because Bobby Wagner's like 50 years old.
Oh yeah, but he's still, the crazy thing is he's still serviceable.
No, he's fourth in the league in tackles this year.
Like,
I don't know how he did it.
Fuck? But if you look through, like, who did I see a video of the other night? It was the Texans linebacker there for a bit. Fuck, what was his name?
Currently on the team?
Huh? No.
Oh, okay. Then I have no idea.
Cushing.
Oh, Brian Cushing. God, I love that dude back in the day.
That dude, even the guys on his own team, because remember when he fought with his own player and they were going to give him a flag? Yep. And he was like, dude, it's my own teammate. Like, he got his own teammate's face on the field and was about to fight him. I was like, that dude's nuts. And even the players on his team were like, that dude's nuts. He goes, listen, if you guys don't want to play today, I'll go out there 1v11. I still got a shot. Like,
him and James Laurinaitis are like the most forgotten linebackers of the past like 30 years.
Oh, and he was insanely good. Like,
yep. And he hit like a motherfucker.
Dude, I just remember that one where he like busted his nose and there's blood coming down his face. Didn't give a shit. Like, just fucking nose just obliterated. And he was like, yep, I'm going back out there.
Him and Mr. JJ, both famous for that one.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, I'll let you go first because I have no fucking clue. I've been thinking about this game more than any other the whole week. Can't figure it out.
Like, I want to go Detroit. Like, I do, just because I think they have what it takes. But I don't think the Bucs are going quietly. Like,
the Bucs haven't allowed 20 points or more since week 14, December 10th against the Falcons. And then you have to go back to November 5th against Houston for any other game above 20 points allowed.
Oh.
It is so hard because this defense at the last half of the season has been crazy good. But I'm worried about the Bucs because the Lions are fifth best against the run.
Right. That's what
Rashad White going. The offense is then limited. But the Bucs offensive line also protects Baker really well. And if you let Baker stand in the backfield and throw the ball all day and have all day to throw the ball, Godwin and Mike Evans are going to eat you alive. And then they have Trey Palmer just a sprinkle on top.
I was going to say, good luck covering Godwin and Evans for a long period of time.
And people don't realize this. Godwin's had 1,000 yards now every year of his career.
Oh, so you have two of them on one team.
He's only been in the league for 5 years, but he's got 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Oh, cool.
Honestly, if the Lions can't pressure and sack Baker, they're in for a long day.
That's how I feel because they're not going to be able to. They'll be able to run the ball, but they're not going to be able to dominate on the ground like the Lions are used to because the Bucs defense knows how to stop the run. I don't know what your picks were. Go Bills. We're not to the Bills game yet, but
we'll get there.
I'm rooting for the Bills.
I am rooting for the Bills myself.
But probably not. I don't know it yet. I don't know about the pick. All right, I'll go Bucs. Fuck it. I'll take the Bucs. I'll take the gamble. I'll take a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
I took a gamble on the Texans yesterday. It didn't pay off. I'll take one today on the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
Dots like having the hardest time.
The only thing I can think of is the only thing that's going to sway me. I'm gonna stick Lions here. I know the first matchup was kind of. I don't want to say it's indicative of the two teams you're going to see today. Baker had an off day. I just think I think they're going to struggle to run the ball. And if you get into it like that type of matchup with Detroit just they're even out weaponing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
I don't know. I find this to be very even. Bucs Lions is harder to pick, harder. Yes, it really is. I don't know, because like everyone, like the logic just says go Detroit, but then what Tampa Bay has been showing lately, especially last week, and I know Philadelphia, arguably, I think if you put them on the field today and the season was still going, I think the Eagles could lose to the Panthers. But so maybe it doesn't mean much of what they did to the Eagles last week, but they just flat dominated them. And I'm just like, man, if you can shut down the Lions offense just even half of what you did to the Eagles, you probably have a shot. But I don't know. You go Lions, I'll go Bucs then. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like both teams get torched by good receivers. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
I'll just take Jared Goff here over Baker. I like the Baker story. I like what they did to the Eagles, like I said, but I think that's more indicative of where the Eagles were. It's just
and since they're keeping Sirianni,
if I had to take the +6, I'd probably take the Bucs. I think it's going to be close, but I think Detroit squeaks it out.
All right. So I think this is easily the most likely to be the best game of the day. I'm not saying necessarily the closest, but it should be the most entertaining.
You mean of the weekend overall?
Of the weekend, sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say for the day.
Kansas City visiting Buffalo. I want the Bills to win so badly, but I just have a weird dumb.
Did I send you the most disrespectful headline I read about the Chiefs and Bills game?
I don't know that Buffalo's changing food names in honor of Taylor Swift.
No, that I read an article on Friday that said, in a blow to the Buffalo Bills, Kadarius Toney will not be suiting up for the Chiefs.
God damn it. Is MVS at least suiting up?
I was like, dude, that's so disrespectful. That's amazing. Like,
I gotta go look.
I was like, no, they didn't do that to him, did they? Oh, they did.
Unfortunately, it sounds like Terrell Bernard is not going to play. It's not confirmed yet, but they said it's leaning towards not playing.
I'll tell you what, though. Buffalo's kind of like the team where, like, you just like that final boss you can't put down. You just shoot them in another extremity, and they just keep coming. Like, they don't care.
No, I know. That's kind of the reason I think, like, a lot of people, we have criticized Sean McDermott so much and said maybe it's time for him to go. But I think one of the best qualities Sean McDermott gives is this team has the resilience that no one else in the league has. It's just next man up every fucking time, and they continue to win football games.
All I can think of in this game is that the last time these two teams played in the playoffs,
they gave Patrick Mahomes 13 seconds.
Kansas City had 13 seconds and got into field goal range. They can't do that anymore. They can't. They don't. They can't. They won't.
You'll just double Travis Kelce and say beat us now if it's that type of situation.
Yeah. No. In this one. I've been. This was my easiest pick because I'm going Bills. I'm Bills 100% here. Bills are rolling. Kansas City, yeah, they won some games down the stretch, but they weren't as convincing to me. The Bills are 6 in a row now?
They were 6-6, so I think it's 7 in a row now.
Yeah, okay, 7 in a row now. And they're scary to me. Like, I know they don't have Gabe Davis now. I know he's not playing. So the second option will have to step up.
Khalil Shakir actually is low key a very good receiver. People sleep on how good he is. I think he'll fill into that spot really well. And they also have the advantage of being able to, if they need to, because of how freaking absolutely athletic he is, they can keep Dawson Knox in as the tight end and use Dalton Kincaid as like another receiver option out wide if they need to. He is an absolute freak. I don't know. I worry about the Bills' defense just because the linebacking core with no Bernard, and then you have the guy who belongs in Game of Thrones, Balin Spector, isn't playing either. I'm gonna go Bills. I all week long I felt Chiefy, but the more I keep thinking about this game, the Bills play such a good secondary defense. I don't think Rashee Rice is gonna destroy them like he did last week against the Dolphins. And if you can limit Rice, we've already seen Mahomes has no faith in anyone else but Kelsey and Rice. He's gonna panic.
Yeah, if you can limit Rice and keep the run game in check, I mean,
yeah, I knew Tehran was gonna play this as of this morning, so I'm very thankful he's playing because I do worry about the linebacking core, but at least the secondary's in check because, like we were just saying, Rashee Rice is the only real deep threat this team has that Mahomes can trust. So, and I think AJ Klein can keep up with a banged up old ass Travis Kelce.
and let's be real here, Kelsey. Yes, he's just fine, but he's dropping more passes than he ever has.
He's dropping everything right now.
He's not what he used to be. Like he's not a number one wide receiver type guy anymore. And like I said, if they can keep, my biggest thing with the Bills is if they can limit Kansas City's run ability, they need to be able to run the fucking ball. Because the one thing that scares me about the Bills is down the stretch, their coach loves to call 3 pass plays when you should be killing clock.
Yeah, my hope is James Cook stays. I mean, right now, James Cook is such a big part of this offense. They have to utilize it today. Like, he has to continue to be the biggest part of that offense. If he does, they're fine.
If he can,
that offense will roll.
If they can get him into that, like, passing out of the backfield game and open up runs for him,
yeah,
they'll do very well today. Yep. I got high hopes, and this is the first time they get Patrick Mahomes in their own barn in the playoffs.
Yeah. Mahomes' first ever road playoff game.
Do you think he's playing with that helmet that's like taped together so he can show how tough he is?
Look, Kermit the Frog is doing the best he can. All right, we gotta give him some credit. His receivers can't catch, and
he's married to that lady, and his brother is his brother. But here we are.
Brittany, oh yeah, she annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah, I feel like she should have married his brother.
Yeah, they would be a real good couple.
But
they've been together since high school, so I know that it's just that cute little high school love crap. But man,
just remember, all I can say is just remember that in a tough environment, the Las Vegas defense shit all over Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I don't expect him to play that bad, Kansas City, but I expect it to be. I mean, Bills fans, they've been looking to pay this one back for a while, and Bills fans,
they're going to be louder than we've ever heard them.
Oh yeah, and that
honestly,
stadium.
We know how much we know how much I love. You don't love, but we know how much I love outdoor, cold weather fucking stadiums and games. But if I could choose a team to put in a dome, it would be the Bills, just so I can hear their fans, because with a dome, that place would be impossible to hear anything.
Buffalo would be on the Richter scale.
Yeah.
Like it would.
But unfortunately, I'm not upset about it because it's outdoor.
Listen, I don't mind outdoor games. I just said if I had to pick one or the other, I would pick everybody going into a dome because I want to see the best skill matchups possible.
Yeah, I know.
I know being outdoor and tough is a skill. I mean, I come from that hockey background,
Yeah. But all right, I'll go with you. Take the Bills here. I want them to win so damn bad that I'm afraid it's
I feel like that's the backfire, right? Like everybody wants them to win so damn bad that it's just going to be like, oh, Kansas City just fucking rolls them again.
It's not even like like, I know I give it a lot of shit, and we've talked about this, and me and Boogie talked about it this week multiple times. I give it a lot of shit because I just want to watch football to watch football. So, like, I don't even hate Taylor. Like, I don't like that she has literally a cult where if you talk negative about her, you might get murdered. I don't like cults. But I don't want her in Baltimore next week because this whole area is going to be fucking annoying that I live in. I don't want her anywhere near here.
By the way, this is how great this game is for the Bills. Is that outside of Patrick Mahomes, there's only two other guys, and it's Travis Kelce and one other guy on the Chiefs. Travis Kelce, this will be his first road playoff game that isn't at home or a neutral site in 17 playoff games.
Jesus Christ.
He's had 14 home playoff games and 3 Super Bowls.
So Andy Reid is literally the only one with road playoff experience on this team.
Basically.
It is. I mean, it is. Like I said, nothing. She's a good human being. I will never take away from the human she is. I mean, hell, she helped establish the world economy. Got it right back on track.
Listen,
all on her own.
She's rocking the vote like P. Diddy. But I did hear a wonderful conspiracy theory about why Travis is dropping footballs now, and it showed his last girlfriend's curves and the surfboard.
You sent me that.
And the surfboard that Taylor Swift is, and he said, maybe, you know.
I said that on stream Friday.
She has all I can say about Taylor Swift is she has a really long back.
And then I did a little research. If the Chiefs do make the Super Bowl, because the Eras Tour starts in February, her gap between Japan and Australia is the 10th and the 16th, and the Super Bowl falls on the 11th.
Oh, she's there.
So she can be there for him. But we'll see. I don't know. The Chiefs are a good team. Don't get me wrong. Their defense is crazy good. But if anyone can expose this defense, it's the combination of James Cook and Josh Allen. Like, it's not just James Cook you got to worry about. You got to stop Josh Allen's legs.
Did you see what Lamar did to Houston? Like, that's what I'm kind of expecting. Like, a good defense.
I know. No. I thought that was going to go 10-10, and I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought Houston was going to blow the doors off.
The way Houston was moving the ball in the first half, I was so surprised that it went the way it did in the second half, where they didn't do anything.
Yeah, I legit thought, because they were just moving all over the place. I was like, they're just going to blow the doors off. Lamar and them are going to come out just the way they were, and Houston's going to have adjusted. And
then they were like, oh, CJ Stroud has no time to throw the ball anymore. Bye.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator, who, by the way, is getting phone calls from Atlanta. So,
what's he going to work under Bill?
I don't know. They need to sign Bill and get it done so we can just get that over with.
Yeah.
I mean, they already went for a second interview already, so, I mean, just sign him.
Just to compound that, Travis Kelce in those last 14 playoff games at home had 103 catches, 1,183 yards, and 15 touchdowns. Let's see what he does on the road.
Yeah. I mean, there won't be any weather. They say game time forecast will be 24 degrees with a feels like of 13. So it'll just be a cold game. Both teams are used to cold games.
Oh, that's 40 degrees warmer than Kansas City played last week.
Exactly. Both teams are used to cold weather. It's a -3 for Buffalo, so it's a neutral game according to the odds makers. This game's going to be nuts.
I think this is the best playoff game we're going to see thus far.
Who the fuck just took Kyle Bradish? Sorry, I'm in a fantasy baseball league, and somebody just drafted Kyle Bradish.
I see where your priorities lie, Matt. I see.
Somebody just drafted Kyle Bradish in the 5th round. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah, I had the end. It's an email draft, so it's slow.
Okay.
I had the last pick of the first round, so it's snake. I literally just took Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman back to back. I was like, you know what? I'm solidified. I'm taking the best catcher in baseball, and I'm taking the best young shortstop / third baseman in baseball.
Yep.
And then I got Bryce Harper in the 3rd round, and I was like, cool, I'm Gucci. And Aaron Judge. I got Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge back to back in 3rd and 4th, and I was like, dope.
Okay.
But reminder, guys, if you guys do want to do fantasy baseball, we're going to do a fantasy baseball league once the Super Bowl ends and we have, things have settled down and we can talk about baseball more. But we're going to roll. We'll be back tomorrow night, as always, at 8 p.m. We'll talk about all 4 games this weekend. If anything else pops up, we'll talk about it. I don't know. There's probably
we're moving into that no more NFL,
Yeah.
It gets a little light. We might have to take a vacation. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go down to Cancun and we can meet some of the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. We can go to Alaska.
I mean, my Patriots have been there for a while. So
they've probably already come home. They're bored.
Yeah, they're back in Nantucket. You know what I mean?
They're already bored, so they're just like, "Fuck it, we'll go do stupid shit."
Yeah, they're searching for that one piece. The offense. Come on now.
I don't know if it's what they need, but there's a thing called One Piece on Netflix and Crunchyroll. They can try and find it there.
Listen, don't you sell me on that fucking live action One Piece. I want nothing to do with that.
I keep wanting to watch it to see if it's really bad. Because my friends, Mike said he likes it.
We could transition into some good, some good television. Have you seen Blue Eyed Samurai on Netflix?
No.
That is fucking a great, anime rendition. Oh, it's like an 8-episode series. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Highly
we can transition into some TV and movies and stuff like gaming. Because, I mean, let me tell you right now, I spent all day yesterday, even when the game's on, just on the TV in the background.
PAL thing that everybody's talking about?
Power World is the greatest thing ever created.
It looks like it's kind of like a mix between almost like Pokemon.
It's Minecraft and Pokemon's baby.
Okay.
It's a survival game where you have to build houses, you have to build things, and then you have to catch well, they're not Pokemon, but pals, but they're all literally Pokemon. And then you can put some on your bait, on your house and stuff, and in your base, and they'll do all the crap for you, so you can go out and adventure and explore and find other Pokemon to go capture.
I've heard everybody talking about it. I've just been in bed, sick for a week.
Granted, I have yet to I gave one a gun, and he missed every shot, so I took it away from him and never.
So he's not like the 3-legged lady from fucking Sons of the Forest. She doesn't miss.
No.
She empties a clip and she doesn't miss.
Pokemon Arc, Minecraft, Valheim. Well, I've never played Valheim, but it kind of is. It's kind of, as Tesco said, it's kind of like a combination of I don't know where you guys just came from, but hi, Odin. Hi, Tesco. It's a combination of literally everything. And it's fucking, we started yesterday at 11 a.m. We played until midnight. I played all morning until we get to the podcast. That's why I was late for breakfast, because I was like, shit, it's 11 o'clock and I haven't even made breakfast yet. And Mike's already on. He's waiting for me to get back. So as soon as this ends, I'm going to there. I can't. It's unbelievable.
Now, is it on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass. It is only PC and Xbox, so it's another Game Pass game.
Okay, perfect. I might have to download it. I've been itching to play games. I just haven't played any fucking video games.
It's only 8 fucking gigs. You can play with friends. It's awesome. On PC, you can play with up to 32 people.
I was bedridden for a week. I was literally in bed, and then the only time I wasn't in bed was when I was vomiting. So,
it not only is it on Steam, Odin. On Friday, its day of release, it was 3rd on Steam in most plays and player count. Yesterday, it led Steam in player count.
Yeah, but if I have it on Xbox Game Pass,
yeah, it's on Game Pass. Yeah,
then I don't have to buy it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's a little glitchy, buggy, but it's a game preview. It's technically their beta, but when the game releases, it's just going to continue to be patched until.
You remember how long fucking Rust was in beta? It was it still is. Oh.
Yeah, and you're not losing anything. So when it comes out, they're just adding to it. It's fucking unbelievable. I went 4 hours without looking at my phone or doing anything yesterday. It
really is like Minecraft too, then, because I feel like that game you just start and 6 hours pass and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Exactly. I fucking don't. It's just unbelievable.
I'll be flying on your bird too. Don't you worry. Double Dutch.
Flying on his bird. Because it's kind of like Baldur's Gate to a degree, where you have to like, if you load into a world, your world is saved on your console or PC. But if you load into a friend's, you restart with like everything they're at.
Oh yeah, so
So
it's also like the Forest or Sons of the Forest, where you have your
yeah,
own.
so like Mike, so like when I'm in Mike's, I have a completely like, so we played Mike's all day yesterday. I've only
So
done mine for like
every
4
server
hours,
is a different playthrough.
yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's amazing. But anyway, all right, we're gonna roll. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. But we'll
And
figure out other things to
downloading
talk about
now.
when football ends. It's only 6 gigs on Xbox, so I can't imagine it's much. But anyway, have a great day, guys. Enjoy some football at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Remember, they're different times because there's only 2 games. Yeah, sure, people are. Yeah, and not only are they server locked, you can do up to 32 people, but I don't know about this on PC. But on Xbox, you can just leave it open on multiplayer because you have to have a code to join. Nobody can just join you. You have to give out codes, so people can't come fuck up your entire world. It's pretty dope.
All right.
Anyway,
sounds like I'm downloading a new game while I prepare my ribs for the grill.
Have a good day, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Love you all.
Football and other things.
See you tomorrow.